starts now.
All right, it's good to have you with us on this Wednesday on this First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
And I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, senior chief meteorologist Rusty Lord. We are going to warm things up on this Wednesday. It's already warmer out there this morning.
Yeah, last couple of mornings we've been hanging out in the lower 50s. Today we're upper 50s to right around 60 degrees, and that's kind of indicative of the whole day. So we're going to be warmer to start, warmer to finish it. And you got this beautiful sunshine out there right now with some high clouds moving on through. Nothing all that much to worry about over the course of the day today, just a little bit warmer than what we had yesterday. 60 degrees, south-southeast wind at about 9 miles per hour, and it feels like temperature near 60. Dew point's going to stay low. That's where it's going to be over the course of the day, and you'll notice here a lot of 50s to right around 60. That's what we're dealing with as you head out the door. So 57 to about 60 for most of us. A little broader view shows 55 Atlantic, 55 in Shenandoah, 52 in Clarinda. Again, another morning where the cooler spots are on the Iowa side as we're starting off the day. But everything about today, especially from the river to the east, is about 5 to 15 degrees warmer right now than what we had at this same time yesterday. So high clouds trying to get in the way of that a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be completely cloudy today. Should still get enough sunshine to warm us up. We got some scattered showers to the east along I-35. Those won't be a problem for us. And the muggy meter stays low, pleasant to refreshing. So even though we get up into the 80s, it won't be paired up with some humidity. Looking good there. And you can see 50s and 60s warm up by 9 o'clock into the mid 60s. By noon, we're upper 70s. Again, it's mostly high clouds, perhaps a little thicker to the southwest, but overall more sunshine east, a little more cloud cover to the southwest as we're right on the edge of this, and should result about 82, 83 for the afternoon high today by 5. And a first alert to a pretty quiet evening. One thing to pay attention to, though, there could be a little fog develop heading into the early morning hours tomorrow. Some models hint at this, and that's what these little specks of green are, some low-level moisture that tries to build in to start off Thursday. If we have quite a bit of that, then maybe we don't get quite as warm in the afternoon on Thursday. But the pool day forecast for today and tomorrow, I'm showing you this because there's not a lot of pool days left. All the pools kind of close up. If you still have access to one this upcoming Labor Day weekend, and today and tomorrow, maybe throwing in Friday too, depending on the shower potential. It could be the last stretch of pool weather that we have around the area.
Okay. And then beyond Thursday, heading to the weekend, how does that look?
I think it's not looking all that bad this weekend. Labor Day weekend looking pretty solid. And you can see, well, I guess there's an extra graphic here I have mixed in. 85 Thursday, 85 on Friday. And if you're maybe taking an extended weekend, we're looking at the Husker Game Day forecast that looks still pretty good. Temperatures in the 70s. For that 8 o'clock kickoff. Now, we may get up close to 80 degrees for the high down in Kansas City tomorrow, but it all depends on how quickly the clouds exit. There'll be some rain to the southwest, and you can see that trying to sneak on through. That'll impact the daytime high heading into Thursday morning, and you see by the afternoon those clouds break apart. And there by 8 o'clock kickoff should be a pretty nice evening down in Kansas City, and a pretty good evening if you're watching here from Omaha as well. Towards midnight or so, we have the scattered clouds moving through. And then by Friday, there are some rain chances to watch for. A couple of spotty showers. Could have a few of those on Saturday too. And notice it's not a washout. Best odds on Saturday trying to stay off to our west. But we're going to keep small chances in for some Labor Day weekend rainfall. Not much to worry about though, 20 to 30%. So it's partly to mostly cloudy, maybe a couple of showers, nothing all that much to worry about. But I just don't want you to be surprised by rain or caught off guard. Just don't go canceling your plans. You might have to bring it indoors once or twice if the shower pops up.
Handle that, right? All right, Rusty, thank you. All right, Jarrett, we go now and here to navigate us through our morning commute. Sounds like we better start with I-80.
Yeah, we are looking at our biggest issues by far happening on the interstate, and it's a familiar spot, but it's the scope of the issue that's the difference this morning. So let's take a look. Westbound I-80. If you travel this stretch, you know it's been a mess here for quite some time. Entering the construction zone as you get near Giles, Q, even as you get near L, it's backed up often. This morning, those backups extend all the way past the 680 interchange and onto westbound I-80 as you're around 96. So that's pretty notable compared to what we normally see. So watch for that here as you're heading into this area. You're going to be looking at things kind of coming to a crawl in that stretch. And I'm hoping maybe we can get some improvement. Yesterday was around this time where some of our delays got a little bit better, actually. So We'll see how things shake out here, but it's best to be prepared for it to be quite slow as you head into that area. Even westbound L Street, as you're getting near that interchange, now starting to back up a little bit, and one of the busiest intersections in the metro is 120th and L. That also a little bit slow at this time. Some other spots that are slow, just not to the same level. As you're going northbound 680 to go to westbound Dodge, that ramp is pretty slow at this point. You're seeing some delays that show up there. And then the JFK has had some momentary spots where it's gotten a little bit slower, but that is looking pretty good at the moment. We'll likely see that get worse again by the time we get to about 7:30 or so. But you could just see even on the map, most of the metro looks pretty good right now, and then you just have to have this splotch of red right at the 680 and 80 interchange, and so that's going to be one that we're keeping close eye on. We'll be checking back in on this here in just a little bit since it is so slow through that stretch. I haven't seen any kind of notification of a crash or anything that would be causing those delays, just really not moving.
Oh, all right, Jarrett, thank you. News now happening today. The man charged in a decades-old murder case will learn his sentence. The state reached a plea deal with Joseph Ambrose over the death of 17-year-old Mary Kay Hesse. Ambrose pleaded no contest to a lesser charge of conspiracy to commit murder. Well, since it happened in 1969, the punishment follows the penalties from back then when murder conspiracy carried a maximum of just 2 years in prison.
Also today, recovering efforts continuing in Blair weeks after strong winds hammering this area. Public Works crews say they do expect to begin the second round of debris pickup today. Officials say when that does start, dump sites at Veterans Memorial Field parking lot and East parking lot will stay closed. The location south of Washington County Recycling Center will stay open. If you need help moving branches to the curb, contact Blair City Hall. Next year's Omaha City budget has been approved by the council.
Yeah, the $1.8 billion plan keeps the tax levy unchanged. The biggest increase in spending goes to Omaha Police for things like equipment and staffing. It also adds money to Omaha libraries. Now, this marks Mayor John Ewing's first budget since taking office earlier this year. Coming up, conflict over the city budget and a proposal to remove certain language.
That plus local sports legend receiving a permanent honor today when we come back. All right, welcome back. Time now 7:12 as we get started on this Wednesday morning, taking a live look outside, overlooking the Midtown and the downtown areas on your screen. Going to be a pretty fair forecast to walk the pups today.
Yeah, looking like it's going to be a pretty good one. Not quite as cool as yesterday, but it's still good nonetheless with the low humidity. We're right around 80 for the afternoon high today, and by the time you get into the evening hours, I think you wait towards 6, 7 o'clock, we're going to start to fall off just a little bit down into the 70s. So maybe if you wait a little later today, it looks a little bit better. Or maybe you go in the morning with the numbers right around 60 degrees. Car wash forecast is a go for it today with a high of 83 and dry conditions expected for a while. You got some high clouds moving through, but likely doesn't amount to all that much. The muggy meter, pleasant and refreshing over the course of the day today too. So even as we do heat up a little bit, it won't be incredibly humid to go along with it. The first alert forecast then through today takes the numbers near 60, gets us up to about 83. This will be the first time we're in the 80s since Friday. So it's been a little while. It's been highs in the 70s. Now you look towards the weekend, we may hang out close to 80 as well, but it's an important Labor Day weekend forecast where many of us have a 3-day weekend. We're talking about spotty showers, possible anyway, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Notice how the odds are low, though. I don't foresee an all-day washout. It's not going to be a huge deal, but it might be something where you get some spotty showers for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then you go back outdoors and the rest of the day is dry. Best odds for that rain over the next 7 days. So this will take you all the way into the middle of next week where you may get some half-inch rain totals in the north side of the viewing area, possibly to the west as well, but you go farther southeast and there's not that much to be found. So I'm not talking widespread soaking rains with any of the chances that we have, just small stuff that we got to pay attention to each and every day as we climb into the mid-80s Thursday and Friday, low 80s on Saturday, right around 80 heading into this upcoming Sunday as well. So just really spotty showers, just kind of a nuisance, nothing that really stands out on any one day as it being the best chance of rain. So we'll just pay attention to it and give you the latest as we get closer.
All right, so we know with the Labor Day holiday comes the winding down of summer. I see 70s on the forecast, see some 80s on your forecast. Are there any 90s in that forecast coming up?
As of right now, I don't. And I actually have more shots of cool weather than anything. There's the most recent round of it moving to the east. Another round by the weekend will impact the northeast. We miss out on that one. And then warmer air tries to surge in Monday and into Tuesday of next week. And you'll notice the cooler air dipping in after that. Could be another rush of it moving in. I wouldn't be surprised if this one verifies. We're talking about some frost potential in up around the Great Lakes states. That's something they'll have to watch for the middle of next week. And cooler than average weather may end up winning out for a while, even deep into the month of September. That could be the story over the course of the next 2 weeks or so. You look at the 10-day forecast, we put some numbers to it in our area. We're talking a lot of 70s, 77 to 76, I'd say, this upcoming Wednesday and Thursday, about a week from today. Again, another rush of some cool stuff that should feel pretty good with the lack of humidity.
Okay. All right, let's get another update on traffic this morning. How are things moving, Jarrett?
Yeah, we're looking at some areas that are a little bit slow for sure.
Okay.
And told you we'd check back in on I-80. Let's do that right now and see how things are moving through that stretch that's right near the 680 interchange. And as you're getting in the lead up to that, you're looking at things definitely backing up and not moving all that well. So it's not just the normal delays that you're looking at here. Top left is where we're looking at. You can see that people are trying to merge in. You've got the lane restrictions, but it goes all the way to the 680 interchange and beyond where things are quite slow. So this is the situation. Give you an estimate of some of the speed. You can kind of see there that it's stop and go, but it's not very fast for the motion as you're going through that stretch. You're talking 5-10 miles per hour. In that stretch. So there's not a lot of great options as an alternate right now either, but I can tell you it's just not going to be very quick motion for you if you're going to be heading through that stretch. Expect delays. Some other areas I want to highlight, especially if you're heading toward UNMC. We've had this closure that's been in place for quite some time, 42nd here between Emily and Dewey. That's no new news there. That's still on track to be in place through next summer. We've had little construction work going in Saddle Creek. You can see how things are backing up in the lead up to that as well. Well, that should be wrapping up in the next day or two. We should be getting close to the end of that. But the alternate route has been coming in on Emily to get to UNMC. Well, now you need to watch for another area of construction, that right off of Saddle Creek as you're heading eastbound on Emily. This is a small zone, and it's only going to be there for about a week is what it's scheduled for. But it's just another obstacle that you need to plan timing-wise for if you're heading toward UNMC. Did just get word of a new crash around 144th and Cornhusker, so didn't have the time to build the graphics on that one, but I can tell you it's probably starting to slow down in that area. You want to watch that for delays. And then, of course, the biggest issue being the 680 and 80 interchange with our really large delays that are in place through that stretch. But most of the metro is moving along in pretty similar fashion to what we've been seeing the last few mornings at this point.
All right, Jared, thanks so much.
This is how things like this start, is that it's always words and then it's actions, and then these actions become law.
A proposal under consideration by Omaha City Council leading to some heated debate. The words diversity, equity, and inclusion show up twice in the almost 500 pages that make up the 2026 Omaha City budget. Well, two city council members, Amy Melton and Council Vice President Brinker Harding, wanted to eliminate those three words from the budget.
They point out there's a lot of momentum right now, and federal dollars play a role. In the meantime, newly elected 2nd District Council member Lavanya Goodwin says she was disheartened by the proposal to eliminate DEI from the budget.
What I don't want to do is risk the tens of millions of dollars of federal funds that we rely upon for infrastructure, for affordable housing, and more. So I really don't want to risk losing literally tens of millions of dollars.
Sometimes I talk to my father-in-law, Dan Goodwin Sr., who fought on the front lines of civil rights in the city. And honestly, he says, I thought we would be further. You know, he actually went to the March on Washington for jobs and freedom, because it wasn't simply about social expression. It was about the right to literally sit where I'm sitting today.
The proposal to eliminate DEI from the budget failed in a 4-3 vote, like we talked about before the budget itself did pass.
Well, Mayor Ewing's staff shared an update on a sinkhole downtown. It opened up in January after a garbage truck fell through. Well, since then, it has remained blocked off. The mayor's team now says work is expected to begin September 8th to repair a damaged duct line. Crews will also begin work to finish foundation repairs for the Regis building nearby. Work is expected to take most of the rest of the year.
Today, 104th near the northeast entrance to Millard North High School will be renamed Eric Crouch Street in honor of the legendary Nebraska quarterback. Crouch is a grad of Millard North. He went on to win the Heisman with the Cornhuskers in 2001. A renaming ceremony will be at 5. Still ahead, some of you may be looking forward to fall, but today we're recognizing one of the best summer fruits.
Yeah, can you guess which one? Find out more when we come back.
New this morning, it is sweet juicy, one of summer's favorite fruits.
Yeah, today is National Peach Day, so whether you enjoy them fresh, baked into a cobbler, or canned for later, peaches aren't just delicious, they're also really good for you. The fruit is packed with vitamins and antioxidants. They're also low in calories and help fight illnesses like heart disease. So today, the top peach producing states are California, South Carolina, and Georgia. I love a good peach.
For a moment, I was like, why are these gentlemen eating those peaches so aggressively? Then I realized it was a peach eating competition.
Oh, no. That's why. There's a prize, I guess. So. Well, it is never too late to dream, and a 100-year-old Missouri woman won her first ever pageant.
Rada Lou Miller Camp was crowned 2025 Miss Missouri Long-Term Care. She was all smiles upon her return back to long-term care in Jackson, Missouri. The title celebrates the life and the legacy of residents who live in long-term care in the Show Me State.
I had just haven't gotten to it yet. I just can't believe it. It's such a shock. But I'm so proud. And I thank all the ones that have helped me get there.
Oh my gosh.
As a pageant queen, she'll get to do some work alongside Missouri lawmakers on the State House floor.
I love her blue, I love her sash and her tiara, and she is 100 years old.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
It looks so nice in the
Yeah.
whole outfit.
Had a lot of fun too.
All right. Well, we're going to leave you with that. We love that story. We hope you did too. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Low Stick Streaming. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
All right, have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Harley. Let's get an update on traffic with Jarrett Lansford.
And a new crash to first alert you to. This is 144th and Cornhusker. We have a good view of this on the Nebraska DOT camera. You can see the busy scene that's ongoing there as you're making your way, I believe that's southbound there with the traffic. So you need to watch this area for delays. This is where we're at, and it's right around here where we have this crash. You can see how things quite slow in the lead up to this area. So 144th near Cornhusker. Be ready for that situation. Also, you've got quite the delays on I-80. You're heading through the construction zone. It's worse than usual. Up into the 680 interchanges. You're heading westbound on I-80. Be ready for it to be quite slow. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Out there right now, got some high clouds that are moving through. That's going to be the story today. It will never be completely cloudy, but sunshine will be filtered as that tries to move on through. We're at 60 right now with a dew point of 55. We're going to keep the dew points low. That means even as we warm up today, it's still going to be enjoyable. A lot of numbers right around 60 degrees as you head out the door. About 5 to 10 degrees warmer right now than we were at the same time yesterday. Give you a little perspective in comparison. You may not need the jacket nearly as long if you take it with you today. Pleasant to refreshing with our dew points. You can see we're right about in the middle of pleasant right now and actually get a little bit better over the course of the day. And as these high clouds move through, shouldn't be too much to worry about. Any showers stay off towards the east, and we'll get a chance to take numbers near 60 right now and jump to near 83 for the afternoon high today.
Well, today, the man charged in a decades-old murder case will learn his sentencing. The state reaching a plea deal with Joseph Ambrose over the death of 17-year-old Mary Kay Hesse. Ambrose pled no contest to a lesser charge of conspiracy to commit murder. And since this happened in 1969, the punishment follows the penalties from back then, when murder conspiracy carried a max of 2 years behind bars.
All right, everybody, it is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.